I will be showing you how to calculate SP number 7 with using calculator only. So as you can see, we have data there. First is I will set the mode to an SD mode so that it could give us the same output. So here would it be? So I'll first set it to mode, and then as you can see, mode, and then you can see the SD reg base. So you go to the SD. SD stands for standard deviation. Regression, reg stands for regression analysis. Actually, for statistics subjects, I usually use SD or reg, the regression. But since we will not be doing regression analysis here, and then I'll limit the discussion not to go to the regression, so we'll be just using the SD. So I'll type 1. As you can see, there is an SD on the upper part, which stands for standard deviation, so it's already on the SD mode. So medyo klabo. And then I will type in the data. As you can see, I have first 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 data. Data points, 0.112, 0.112, and then delete. I will click this M plus, meaning it will be stored in memory. So if I click this one, see, if I click this M plus, then it will give you an n is equal to 1, meaning the n is equal to 1 is already filled, meaning you have already filled data 1. Then I will input the second one, 0.118, and then M plus again. It must give us an n plus n is equal to 2. Okay, next is 0.115. It will give us n is equal to 3, and then the last one is 0.119, and then it will give us an n is equal to 4. So we have already keyed in all the data, the 4 data points. Then we act, we go back to normal. And then as you can see here, you have to find this one, SVAR, because that is the variables, the variables that we're going to look at, which is the mean and the standard deviation. So I will, as you can see, it is red or yellow here, so I must use the shift, because the shift will allow the functions in yellow, okay, or it's somewhat orange. So shift, and then as you can see, there's already an S there, and then I will use this one, the SVAR, not of course the 2, because it shows the SVAR. And then you can see there is a X, and then this is the 2 and the 3. The 1 is the mean, the 2 is the population standard deviation, wherein your degrees of freedom is not -1, but then you have the sample standard deviation, which is n-1, as you can see. So actually what we're needing is the 1 and number 3. The 1 is X, mean 1, so I'll get the 1. As you can see, it will give us the mean, and then I'll put execute or equals in other calculators. It will give me 0.1185. So I will be writing it down, and then I'll go back to, probably I'll shift it again, and then go back to that value. So sum, sorry, shift, sorry, ACK. I will go back to shift and then SVAR, and then I'll key in the 3. As you can see, it will give me now the standard sample standard deviation for the t-stat. So equals execute, so it gives me 288. Okay, so more or less this one is a cheap calculator. I think it cost me around 100 plus. So I believe that most scientific calculators have these functions, because as far as I can see, if the calculator is a scientific calculator, it does really have that SD and reg capability. So next is I'll be showing it in a Casio 911ES. This one is usually used for the engineering, or for those who are taking the board subjects, like you, the BSF really will take the board subject, so you better have the 991ES Plus, because I think this is the most let's say advanced that you can use. More advanced to these calculators cannot already be used in a board exam. So usually in a board exam, if you get there, you can see that this one is the most advanced and you should be familiarized with it. So of course I'll make it on. So you can see I'm on the math data. So I'll again mode, and then as you can see I have a stat mode, so I'll go to the stat mode number 3. So I'll press number 3, as you can see. So and then it will ask me one variable. Actually I can use one variable, but here I think I have to use because I am usually using the AA plus BX, so better use the A plus BX, so that if ever I'll introduce you to regressional analysis, then it would be too much easier. So I'll number 2. Sorry, not regression, sorry, I was wrong. Go back to stat 3, and then sorry, I'll be just using one variable, same as the one. So and then I'll input 0.112, and then as you can see the data is being you can see the data and you can edit it. Actually that's the better for this calculator, because you can edit the data if ever you have wrong encoding. And then the last one would be 0.119. So you have already 4 datum, and then you exit, and then as you can see I have the here stat. It is also in yellow, so I'll be shifting it. I'll press the shift, and then that stat yellow, so number 1. So it gave me parameter, and then you have variables. Actually what we want to find is the variables var number 4. Then it will give us the x number 2. Actually what we need is the x and the number 4, the standard deviation for samples, and for standard deviation for samples, not the population standard deviation. Ini kanina, diba, as you can see, you have your this is also the same notation that we're using as the true standard deviation. So this is the true, but actually for population, meaning you have an infinite sample. But for this, we will be using the SX, which is the sample standard deviation. So I'll be using 2 and 4. So let's say 4, and then execute equals, as you can see. Then it will give me I think the same value, 3.16. If it is the same, maybe I have to pause it. But actually it should be the same. Maybe I can look for the stat variable, and then the number 2, 0.116. You have 2.88. So meaning one of the good thing, we have different, so we can check. Actually we can check, how can you see it? You go to shift, you go to yes, shift, and then start, and then I can go back to my data if ever I've inputted something wrong. So I have 0.112, it's correct, 0.118, and then 0.115, and then 0.119. So actually I have inputted it correctly. So meaning I think the one that has mistake is the other calculator. Maybe I have to redo this video. But anyway, for the sake of, since we have different output, I think, and I can check the data on the question 9 on ES, and it is not wrong. So basically this one might be wrong. So we cannot check the data that we maybe we can. Let's say shift S bar shift, no, we come to yes, we come to 0.119. As you can see, I only scrolled, and then it give me 0.119. The next should be 0.115. Frequency 0.115. Okay, that's okay. Next should be 0.118, and then the last would be 0.122. So there's the mistake, because it indicates here 0.122. So I can edit that one. How do I do it? Medyo nakakalimot ako, ha. But I think I can edit it. Shift insert 0.112 and then yun. So equals, not the m plus. So I already changed it. See, x1 is 0.112, 0.118. So it's good thing also that nagsayupisar. At least you can see how it is edited without bisan diri ka magbalik pag clear. Okay, and then shift and then S bar, and then I'll maybe I have the, so that is already 3.16. Let's see, stat, you have the var and the number 4. Let's see, so they should have the same numbers, 3.16. So both of them already displayed the same results. So yun. Actually, what you did, kung diri mo talaga makita ito nimo sa'yo, pero di mo yan ma-edit, what you do, because kung mabutang ka ito 0.112, and then you say M+, you can see that it automatically gives you 5 data points. So, you should clear that out by shift. Sa akin is shift mode. Ito may CLR kasi, ito meaning clear mo siya sa memory. And you would say mode clear. So, and then, pwede all. But yung all, kung mayroong iba kang nilagay tulad sa memory ng ABC, matatanggal din yun. But anyway, if you want to clear only the statistics, that is the ECL. You have to press 1. And then execute. By that, the statistics is now cleared. Hindi yung other data mo. For example, yung memory sa ABCD, just like the other one that we've solved, nandun pa rin actually yung A. Actually, nandun pa rin yung, I think, is pin number 4, number 5. O, nandun pa rin, no, yung A. But anyway, hindi naman natin kailangan yan. So, I can again type the data, 0.112, M+. As you can see, now it goes back to n is equal to 1. Meaning that it already cleared. And then 0.118 M+, and then 0.115 M+, and then 0.119 M+. So by that, the data is already inputted, and then I can shift S bar number 3, and then it will, voila, it already gave me the same value. So you can edit it actually, or you can clear the memory out. Thank you guys. SP number 7, I'm solving SP number 7, and then supporting it the video.